I call on Meenakshi Sahni. Ma'am, please speak with us. The principal of the modern school, Vasant Vihar. Welcome.
A very good afternoon. At the outset, let me tell you I'm no great orator, and a podium was the least favored place and the last one I ever imagined myself to be on. But thank you, Dr. Harbeen, because this was something beyond my imagination, that I'd ever be representing something, an institution or something that I did or we did together on a platform such as this. So to all you people out there who are doing big and small things, I think you are living examples of what I think is sensitivity, inclusiveness, I would say creativity, conviction, courage, and so much more. And most importantly, I'm sure all of you are great communicators, and that's why you are here and you are here. And we are here, and we are being able to achieve what we are. And part of the theme says we are drivers of the future. Now, what is our future? As an educator, I ask you, who do you think or what do you think is our future? That's a question to all of you. Our children. Yes, and we are all very sensitive about that. So our children, and we are the custodians. And I'm here to not leave you with any inspiring stories. I'm here to share my fear, because I kept thinking about what I'd share with you, such a diverse group. And I couldn't think of anything except one big fear that I've had for some time now after I read a book. And I'll share an extract from the book. Of course, it's not verbatim. It's a book written by a cyber forensic psychologist, which talks about how the information and communication technology has intruded, invaded, and overwhelmed our lives. So she talks about her first ever experience when she started thinking about these things as she was traveling on a train, and across the aisle she saw a woman sitting with a small baby in her arms. And the baby started crying, and this woman put the baby to her breast to feed it. And while the baby was being fed, the mother pulled out her mobile phone from her bag and very adeptly was swiping it away for the next 45 minutes that the baby was being fed. And I don't know how many of you know, but we educators do, that all the wiring that is happening in the brain happens in the first 4 or 5 years of a child's life. All the connections that are established are connections because of experiences, and a lot of that foundation is laid when the children are very young. So, coming back to this incident, when the child was being fed, the child was continuously and gazing at the mother's eyes, looking adoringly at the mother, while the mother had her eyes locked elsewhere. Now, when an experience, when an emotion is not reciprocated, I don't have to tell you what happens. And needless to say, that wiring will not be there. And what the author of this book has to say is, can you imagine what this child will grow up into? Because this is one child who did not have the wiring or is not likely to have the connections in place, the neural connections, to understand emotions because they were never reciprocated. I don't want to give you or leave you behind with a dismal picture, but the fact is a reality. We see that around us at all times. Our children swiping away. We are swiping away, not understanding how it's impacting the social fabric. The way I grew up and the way I've changed and the language I speak in the last decade and a half, and the way my routine is from the early morning cup of tea that I grew up with to the first thing that I do in the morning is to reach out for my mobile to see if I've missed any calls or messages. No, I'm not an addict. But that's the reality for all of us. So a middle-class girl from a very, very simple background, I believe in moderation. And I reach out and I think the only solution for our children may be moderation, and it takes sensitivity to do that. So I leave you with a food of thought and nothing more. And I express my deep gratitude to everybody who made this happen, and most of all, Dr. Harbeen Arora. Thank you.